a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as we understand that we are standing on the sacred land where great things are happening and where great men are found and where they always come and leave a legacy on this land. This moment I'll allow you to sit as we listen to the things that will follow thereafter.
Free men we stand under the flag of our land. Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one strong and free. Amapalo mwapela bambi abali mufifungo mulava fumya mulapela makakuva finino na ina paleni ifindingile. Amapalo mwapela banabenu abali mufifungo mulava fumya mulapelen sansa kuvala chula na ina paleni ifindingile.
And so he grows with a very disadvantaged background. But regardless of this being the case, there was still greatness, something that drove Jephthah to fight hard in his life. And so the Bible says, even if all was against him, the odds were against this man, but he still remained focused and determined in his life. Allow me to mention, especially to the graduates, to say, there is a price that comes out of focus in life. It doesn't matter what your background can be. It doesn't matter how challenging your life can be. So long as you remain focused in whatever you do, you will reap what your focus is focusing about. And so we ask and charge you that even as you go out into society, may you be a focused people that will not be determined, or the people that will not be mentioned because of what you are going through or what your background can be, but you will be called because you have been a focused person. The Bible continues to tell us the story.
There are times you need to step aside to let those that are supposed to do the work of introduction do the work of introduction, because you know there are times you let go of certain things and others do it. Is that okay? For now, allow me to introduce the man who has been the father of our graduates that you have seen today. You know, there are times when we would say, please step aside, let us do the work, but he has been the father to them. You know, being the director in other institution or the chancellor, these are people that you cannot even see the entire 4 years of your course. But this is a man that has always been with the students, leaves his office and comes where the students are and joke with them, laugh with them, and teach them the things that really matters the most. Allow me, please, ladies and gentlemen, to recognize the presence of our director, Adult Education Director Chitenge Benzu. Please, may you step forward. Please, a big hand, ladies and gentlemen, a big hand. I'll allow you to step forward so that you can do the introduction to one who is supposed to stand again.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We know our MC, our lecturer, to be a man of protocol. And to that effect, I do not have much to say. Allow me to welcome all of us that have come. and also to introduce to you our Executive Director, Mr. Craig Harding, who will come and give his speech and then introduce.
Our teachers, the lecturers that have been here, and we're super happy to have you as parents, sponsors, interested parties who've helped to make it possible for our graduates to be here. Thank you so much. Let's give our sponsors and our parents a round of applause. You know, as we come to today, I was thinking, what is it that you can leave students with? You know, students, as you come to graduation, you've had a lot of information, a lot of experiences, and what more can we say at this stage to send you on your way while you're beginning to transition to the implementation phase of life? But I thought as we begin, I want to highlight a few things that hopefully you can take away. One of the things that I think is important, that, you know, we live in a society where fast cash has kind of supplanted the idea of character. We live in a society where making the deal, hustling, has overshadowed compassion. We live in a time when the chat GPTs, the easy access to knowledge, has had a way of putting a lid on our curiosity. And oftentimes we accept a piece of paper and information in place of skill. And we're looking for an easy job. We're looking for a white-collar place in a world that is desperate for a demonstration of perseverance. And so as we send you off, I hope there's 5 things that you can take away that you've seen and experienced and that you will demonstrate in your lives as you leave this place. And the first one would be character. I think it matters not just the information we have, but the character we've developed. How do we execute? How do we live our lives? When you walk out of here, you're not just an ambassador for yourself. You're not just going to start your life in your career or in your calling. You're also going to go out and people are going to say, oh, you went to Riverside. And everyone who follows in your steps, you're either going to add to what they do or you're going to detract from that. And so as you leave, you largely determine the value of what a student will get when they leave. And our expectation is that you will go to the place of employment, to your place of calling, and that you'll perform with character. That when choosing between ease and doing the right thing, you'll do the right thing because there's a God in heaven who rewards even when doing the wrong thing costs us in the moment. Compassion. I hope that while you've been here, you've seen the opportunity to have compassion. When someone is near you or at your hand and you have the opportunity to impact them through kindness, through generosity, through reaching out, even when they can't give you something back, that you'll choose to exercise compassion, that you'll choose to be curious. Don't settle for what's known. Ask why. When someone gives you this is the answer, say, is that really true? And if it is, why is it true? Don't settle for what someone else tells you. Search to know why. Further, as you enter into life, take the skills you learned, and your courses are exceptionally practical. And we've spent a lot of time where you're in the field, you're hands-on, and that's for a reason, because the world is filled with graduates.
Good morning to all of you that are present here today. It is a great day. We are celebrating our good friends that are graduating today. To the graduates, how do you feel? I can't hear you. How do you feel? Awesome. Let's give them a hand once more. We thank God and we congratulate you on your great day. Today is your day. You celebrate, be happy. I believe you have put in so much to be able to reach this position that you are in today. We are proud of you, and we pray that God will bless you. Allow me to quickly recognize the distinguished guests and leadership of this institution that are present here, beginning with the Executive Director, Mr. Greg himself, who is doing such a great and wonderful work here at Riverside. And also the Director Education, that is actually leading the team in education, and I believe much of what is happening today here is a brainchild of him and his team. Allow me also to recognize faculty that are present, I believe to my left, that are helping so much, and I can quickly spot my good friend, Dr. Mumbula and the wife. This is my former roommate and bedmate. When we were in university, we were sleeping on the same bed. So I've just seen him present here. It's good to see you. And also allow me to recognize the presence of the school leadership that is here. I can see the headmaster with his team, and also the leadership of the church, those that may be present here this morning. Our parents that are also present here, you are the backbone of this event. Had you not invested in your children that are graduating here today, I don't think we'd even be having this celebration. And finally, I've already recognized the graduates that are graduating here today. My speech is literally going to be a talk that will challenge you, especially that are graduating today, but more so, though, every one of us that is present here. I should mention that you are in safe hands, and I believe the time that you have been studying here, you have been in safe hands. For the simple reason that I'm quite acquainted with Riverside and the leadership of this institution. Mr. Craig and Evangelist Chitenge, who are heading this place, are elder brothers of mine and good friends of mine, and I have an idea of the philosophy that these men hold. I have an idea of the work ethics that these men hold. I have an idea that when you are reading that the theme of your graduation speaks to excellence, that is not rhetoric. That is exactly what these men believe in. Oftentimes we chat on phone or when we meet in person, and the conversations are around excellence. How we can be solutions to the problems that the nation is facing, solutions to the problems that the world is facing, and not be another problem. We are living at a time that every graduation adds more to our problems and not solutions. Because every person that graduates becomes an increase in the statistics of the unemployed. And I'm hoping that today we are not graduating more problems into society. So my hope, therefore, is that this is a graduation that is going to channel out solutions to society's problems. Every one of you must see yourself as a solution to at least one problem. That is what education was calculated to do. That is what education must do. That is what education must create as an impact in society. Hence, I'm going to drive my short sharing with you this morning from the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 9, reading from verse 10, in which God speaks and says, whatsoever thy hand finds to do, do it with thy might, for there is no work, no device, no knowledge, no wisdom in the grave where you are going. That's a guarantee that one of these days, each one of us is going to descend into the grave. But before then, we have a work to do. And God says, do it with all your might. And hence, I want to title my speech to you as the power of all. The power of all. Do it with all your might. I should mention that we are living in a time that very few people give their all to whatever they are doing. We are living in a time that many people are involved but not committed. I see every day people that are involved in their marriages but not committed, and that's a danger. I see people that are involved in agriculture. When you walk to a farm, you can tell the owner of this place is involved in agriculture but not committed. I should mention that it is easy to walk into a business and realize the owner of this company is involved in business, but not committed. It is very easy to see a student that is involved with academics, but not committed. The world is looking for men and women that are not only involved, but that are committed, because excellence is a child of commitment and not involvement. Excellence is a child of commitment. There is no excellence where there is no commitment. So God says, whatsoever your hands find to do, do it with all your might. I want to believe that each one of you has found something to do with your hands. I should mention to you, my friends, that intellectual engagement is overrated. While I appreciate academia, while I appreciate intellectual engagement, we need to transition as Africa to industrialization, which is a product of blue-collar jobs, which is a product of skills, which is a product of working with your hands. I should mention to you that this tablet I'm holding here is a product of somebody working with their hands. The chair you are seated on is somebody working with their hands. The podium here where I am is a product of skills. Unfortunately, our mindset as Africans in general has been skewed to loathe skills and to glorify mere intellectualism. So we get to a point where we have many graduates that are irrelevant to the problems that our society is facing. I've always argued that Zambia does not need more economists. No, we don't. We have enough. Zambia does not need more demographers. No, we have enough. Zambia does not need more public administrators. We have enough. Zambia needs men and women that can knit with their hands and produce garments, so that we stop importing. Zambia needs men and women that will work the land, so that we stop importing apples and other fruits and everything else. Zambia needs men and women that can fabricate. Zambia needs men and women that can repair things. Zambia needs men and women that can produce. As of now, majority of our society are consumers. And there is no society that progresses if the majority of its citizens are mere consumers. It is societies that have producers that run the world. And that is why an institution like Riverside must be commended. Because I believe in the different skills that you are graduating in today, you are graduating as producers. To go and not only consume products and services that are made by other men and women, other countries, but to go and produce and contribute to this nation. So whatsoever your hands finds to do, do it with all your might. All signifies excellence. Aristotle says we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. I should mention that it is very easy to be studious on one afternoon and study the whole afternoon. That's not what will produce excellence. Any person can do that. It is consistency in studying every afternoon. It is very easy to go and dig the land to death. In one afternoon, you collapse because you have been weeding the land the whole afternoon. Any person can do that. But the exceptional is a man or a woman who can maintain that momentum every day to go and do the same thing. Excellence, therefore, is not an act. It is a habit. And I want you to embrace the habit of putting in your all in whatever you do. If you want to rise to the pinnacle of anything in this life, be it academia, be it entrepreneurship, be it church stuff, you must give it your all. Oftentimes when you see a great man, what you see is the front end of him. You do not see the back end. And behind the man are long nights of without sleeping. It is missed meals. Behind that, it is hard work, sweat that has been put in. And I should mention to you that don't only fall in love with the glory of the greats, fall in love with the habits of what they do. I remember reading a book by John Maxwell on leadership, where one young man walked to him and said, when I grow up, I would want to be like you. He turned to the young man and asked the question that is okay. But the question is, are you willing to do what I have done to be what I am? Many people would love to be like that other person and the director and the professor and the doctor and whoever else, but they are unwilling to put in the work. As an employer, I have often realized this. My team, I've come with a few of them here. It is common things I say to them, that here in Africa it is very easy to achieve excellence because majority thrive in mediocrity. You do not even need to do exceptional things. You just need to do average to stand out. Because people seem to be comfortable with average, comfortable with common, comfortable with better than nothing. Nothing is the standard. And as long as you can do something that is better than nothing, men recline in comfort and say, this is okay. We must challenge ourselves to excellence because the God we worship is an excellent God. Confucius once said, the will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential, these are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. You must have a strong will. You must have a desire. My dear friends, those of you that are graduating today, I do not know where you come from, but I'll tell you I'm a village boy. That is exactly where I was raised. I got to know town and much of civilization when I came to Lusaka. As well. His dressing betrayed him. He had these brown crocodile shoes, which I asked him, where are these coming from? He said, no, it's my father who gave me. Now we arrived in university as village boys, but we had big dreams. We had dreams to impact the nation and dreams to leave a footstep. And that is exactly what we have done. We are not old men. No, we are not beyond our 40s. We are still in our 30s. But I think we have done well for ourselves. And this is because when we arrived, we had a vision. We had plans, we had goals. Oftentimes we would sit in the night as village boys with nothing much. We did not have the best of clothes. We did not have the best of gadgets. No, we did not. I even remember one of our friends, he's late now, who was the first to buy a laptop in our circle. We're three of us. He bought a laptop. I remember that laptop used to be wrapped in a bathing towel and then put in a bag. And we asked him why. He said a laptop should not be, should not have any impact to it. And it was carried very carefully. Then one day he bought a laptop himself. Then I also bought a laptop. And you see, these were little achievements. But we often talk about the kind of women would want to marry, the kind of places would want to drive to get to, the kind of impact would want to create, the institutions would want to build. Now I'm here to tell you that if you are burning with the same desire and you are burning with dreams, dreams are things. Dreams can become reality. Today here we are. There he is as one of the senior lecturers in the School of Medicine, doing great things. But we arrived as simple boys and girls. We graduated as simple young men. And I'm telling you that today you can be from a rural background. You can be from a poverty-stricken background. But I want you to know that your past and your background should not define the man or woman that you become. It is the height of your dreams and the spirit that you carry within yourself, your will and desire to succeed and impact society that will determine how far you go in this life. So I want you as you walk out of here. And I should also mention that desire no higher place that you should have graduated from. Many people often, I meet young people sometimes, I get a chance to speak at different graduation ceremonies. And sometimes you're going to hear young people say, no, this is just a stepping stone. My idea, actually, I should have graduated from UNZA. Let me tell you that what determines who you become is not where you graduate from. It is what you graduate with. There are so many people that have graduated from institutions that you may call prestigious and yet have achieved very little, because much as they graduated in colorful gowns, very little sat in them that was practical that they can apply. And you are privileged that you are graduating with skills. As I'm closing, allow me to just read one other thing, which is a little quote by President Obama. He said, "The future rewards those who press on." I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I don't have time to complain. I'm going to press on. And you saw what this man became. Coming from a broken home, not raised by mother and father in one space, but because you can see the resolve within this man, he rose to become the president of the #1 superpower of this club. Because he says he does not have time to feel sorry for himself. Let me mention that the greatest enemy to excellence is self-pity. If you are going to step out of here and pity yourself because you are an orphan, I'll tell you that life is always looking for somebody to beat. And if you are going to be pitiful about yourself, you become the easy target. Stand and go in life and fight as men and women. Because we understand too well that not only are we applying human effort, God is on our side. He has promised that he will be with you, he will not leave you nor forsake you. Irrespective of the circumstances in which you could have been raised, God is on your side. He is there to empower you. And if you are going to walk in the valleys of the shadows of death, he says he is there with you. If you are going to walk in darkness, he says he will be your light. As you are leaving this place and your dreams are burning high in you, walk with God. Let him be your guide. Every day, invite him in your life. Pray as you wake up, pray as you sleep. Engage yourself fully as if there was no God to help you, and yet pray so hard and as if everything depended on him. I'm going to challenge you that you go and work very hard. Now, I'll tell you, this is not a theory. You should ask my team. They find me at work, they leave me at work. I'm going to leave this place not to go and party. I'm going to leave this place and rush back for work. I work very hard. I operate in a circle of highly accomplished men and women. There is one thing we share in common. It is hard work. There is very little for a person who approaches life with a laissez-faire attitude. And as one man says, if you take life casually, you end up as a casualty. You step in and give life your all, full time, work very hard. I'm going to tell you that as you go out there to apply your skills in entrepreneurship, you will fail sometimes. Failure is inevitable. But it is not important. Failure does not define the man. It is the rising back. The Bible says a righteous man falls 7 times and 7 times he rises. Those of you that are thinking of entrepreneurship, I can give you this for free, that as you are going to go in the journey of entrepreneurship, you will fail. But it is those that can rise over and over that make the greatest of entrepreneurs. Just a month ago, I was in Malawi speaking at the ASI conference. My young brother sent me a message to indicate that on one of our businesses, we had been scammed over 300,000 kwacha. And you see, after that, I was giving a talk and I talked to somebody and said, we have been scammed over 300,000 kwacha. He was saying, but how come you are not moved? I said, listen, I've lost so much over life that I've realized that loss is part of life. But it is your comeback that determines what you achieve. So as you go out to begin, whether it is your businesses, be ready to fail. When you fail, don't cry long enough that your tears blare you from the opportunities that come in failure. Because we are told behind every failure is opportunity riding on that failure. So whatever your failures will be, persist. I should also mention that continuous growth. It is only those that are committed to continuous growth. Growth in knowledge, growth in wisdom, growth in understanding, growth in networks, growth in virtue. These are the people that attain excellence. So go out. This is not the end. This is the beginning. Continuous improvement. Always desire to be better than you were yesterday. It should be a crime for you to sleep the same way you woke up, with the same knowledge you woke up with the same skill you woke up with. Every day, desire to improve yourself. I'm going to pray that God will guide you, that God will open doors for you, that God will shine a light for you as you go out to achieve your dreams. May God bless you, and we wish you the best. Thank you so much.
Elder Sheman Mukwena to represent the students. Elder Mukwena comes all the way from Zimbabwe.
Good morning. All protocol observed. Yeah, I have heard this kind of saying, so I think it works. Yeah, I'm representing the students. Yeah, I read from W.D. Fraser that what the place does to us is more important than what we do in the place. So what we came to do at Riverside is not more important what Riverside will do to us. So what did Riverside do to us? There are a lot of lessons. Most of the lessons are silent and gradual, you know. They get into your blood silently, gradually, you'll be learning a lot of lessons. Number one, time management. Time management. You see, the goodness about time is that we all have the equal amount of time. There is no one who has got 25 hours per day. No. Everyone has the equal amount of time. So, when we came to Riverside, time is so important that everything should be done on time. You go to cafeteria 06, 12 o'clock cafeteria, 17 cafeteria, 07 lessons, 1400 hours you go for pharmacy, 1745 you go for church. So everything is timed, and the essence of time is valued here. You see, I learned a lot about that, and students can agree with me. They learned about the value of time. So wherever we go, I know that if we conscientiously in our minds we remember the essence, the value of time, you certainly succeed. During the first 2 weeks, you would be shocked to see that in the morning as you go to cafeteria, Elder Craig is getting into the office. So I was wondering, what time does he wake up to come to work 06? So I learned that time is so important, and that is one of the lessons we learned here. Number two, order. Order means that everything is in its place. Everything. You see, an army and a mob have got something similar. They both have got large numbers of people. But the difference is an army is organized. A mob is confused. So at Riverside there is order. For parents, if you have got time, go up you, look over the way. You see, those citrus, they are not like haphazard. No, they are in a straight line. Even the bananas, they are in a straight line. That's order. In life, if you have no order, you won't succeed. So we learned order here, students. That is a lesson we'll go with. Number three, service and humility. You see, you when you come to Riverside, you are not like going to be chaperoned. When you go to cafeteria, everyone stands in the queue. A student is serving you. The other time it's also you serving them. So you are supposed to serve, and you're supposed to be humble. When it comes to potluck, everyone is supposed to be in a queue. Sometimes the children who come first, sometimes the elders who come last. So sometimes the elders don't get the food. It teaches you a lesson. You should be humble. So service and humility, we learn that at Riverside. Then the other aspect, hard work. Hard work. You see, I was reading somewhere, God has no place for lazy men in his service. He has no place for that. And at Riverside, people work very hard. And even as students, I think we learned that lesson. There's no time when we can say there's a free period. I remember when I was in school, on our timetable, it was written free period. But I didn't find it here in Riverside timetable. You go to class 07, you come out 12, you go to pharmacy, there is no free period. So I was wondering the first week, how can we be learning all the time? There's no free period. Then I learned that it inculcates in you and me the essence of hard work. We should use the time time for work, we should be working. So we learned that even as students. I know as we go out, we are going to be hard workers. Then the last aspect, true education, the hand, the mind, and the heart. Yeah. You see, going to church at Riverside, I was explaining to my friends in Zimbabwe. You see, I don't remember a day we are not in church, like we are outside of the church. Like on Mondays we used to have devotions. Tuesdays the lifestyle, the tailoring and the agriculture students, they go for TruthLink. Wednesday we go for Vespers. Thursday they go for TruthLink. Friday we go for Vespers. Sabbath we go to church. And for us, lifestyle and evangelism, we are learning the Bible every day. So it's like you are being inculcated into this kind of scenario where spirituality is valued a lot. Spirituality is valued a lot. So the hand is being trained, the mind is trained intellectually. We learned a lot in class, a lot. Wrote a lot of assignments, tests, and all this. And we also learned to work with our hands. Thank you very much, Riverside, for these lessons, which some of the testimonies Elder Craig, you hear them in heaven. Yeah, when we are saved. Thank you very much.
But a graduate from Riverside Farm Institute. I was doing general agriculture here, and today was our actual day of graduation. As you can see around, people are very excited and happy. And just on behalf of my fellow students, just one or two things. When we came here, really we had many expectations, of course. We were thinking that Riverside has got the setup of those other similar institutions, and so even when we came here, we had something that we were looking for that we are going to have as we depart from Riverside Institute. But Riverside has got its own philosophy, it has got its own program, of course understanding that it is also incorporated other TVETA programs, so it is trying to incorporate the TVETA programs and also its own philosophy put together. So now as students, there are just a lot that were really exposed to us, many things